Welcome to Second Chance Garage. Okay, this is my dad's pickup, one of them. So Saturday, I went over there and replaced, because he blew a heater hose. It's dark, so these heater hoses are brand new. I had to take off, let's see if I can show you, that lower hose and drain the antifreeze, because this lower hose ties into it and you couldn't get to the clip without taking that one off. Okay, so I replaced both of them Saturday. Took the lower hose off, which is down here. That one with the light on it. Okay, then I filled up the radiator, let it run, blah, 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 all that kind of stuff. Okay, so I got her back on the road. It took about 3 hours total. So then Sunday I go out to my brother's house for an Easter deal. And Dad jumps in this, backs it down the hill where he lives. He lives on a big hill. He hits the brakes and the pedal goes to the floor. Well, what he did was he wound up blowing, let's see if I can find the juncture here, right down where the light's at, right there. That goes into the rubber hose that runs down to your brake cylinder. All right, well, right there at that junction, he blew the line, and it ran all the way down to that white fitting that I got the light next to, and then down across the bottom of the truck. Let's see if I can squeeze through here. Fat, I'm too fat. Too fat. All right, so then we had replaced some other lines, so it had a compression fitting right here, and then it ran straight down to another clamp that's on, let's see if I can show it to you. You can't see it, but there's a U basically right underneath this that goes straight down, runs across over to where that other clamp was. And he blew it right there where it goes into the rubber hose. All right, so then I took that apart. In order to do that, I had to take the inner fender well out to get to that fitting. Then took the brake calipers off, which was not fun. But yeah, I got the brake calipers off both sides. Had to take the tires off, the brake calipers off, the brakes off, which were shot. The brakes were shot too. So now he's got to go find pieces to run down, and where I showed you we took it out, that piece. He's got to get a piece for that, a compression fitting, brakes, front brakes, calipers. We're going to use the rotors, even though they're rusty. We're going to clean them up. And then that took every bit of 3 hours. I mean, everything was so rusty. I was beating on stuff, and I was, trying to drive. I had the bottom, say this is the caliper. I had the bottom bolt out. So what I was doing was driving the caliper out as far as I could, and then I'd drive it back in, drive it back out, drive it back in. Kept doing that, trying to break that bolt loose, and then spraying everything down with PB Blaster, which I'm not sponsored by, and all that kind of stuff. So I started on that at 3 o'clock, and I finished at about 6:15. Getting it tore apart. So now Dad's going to get parts either Tuesday or Wednesday, probably Wednesday, and then we'll probably start putting it back together. So anyway, yeah, I just got the radiator all done. And the only reason why it took so long, because everybody's going to be like, you can change those out in 5 minutes. Well, you're right, you can. If you don't have to take off the lower radiator hose to get to the clamps. It's got those squeeze type clamps. And man, it's a pain. The suspension's all in the way to get to them. So yeah, I had to take off the lower hose just to be able to get to the clamp on the bottom radiator. Otherwise, it would have been a lot faster, you know, shoot. But yeah, trying to get the water pumps, the vice grips, not even the vice grips, what do you call them? I call them water pumps. Channel locks. Trying to get the channel locks up in there to open it up wide enough to be able to clamp it. Now, if they would have just been those screw down clamps, that would have been a different story, you know, but they weren't. So anyway, I just got it finished after doing 3 hours worth of work to it, and then immediately blows a brake line. So then as soon as I got home, I dove on this. Dad had it, had the John Deere moved, that project that I had all in here, got slid backwards so we could get this truck in here to work on it. And as soon as he gets the parts, I'll be able to start putting it back together again and rerunning the lines. And, you know, the main biggest part of this that took so long was getting that inner fender well out. It wasn't that hard, but every bolt was a different size. Oh yeah, it was nuts, man. So anyway, I thought I'd show you the projects, the projects that kind of fell in between the cracks here. So anyway, Second Chance Garage, if you like it, subscribe. If you don't, that's fine too. Second Chance Garage, Uncle Russ out.